Have you ever seen a ghost in the ocean? Something so transparent, so delicate, it looks like a living bubble of water drifting through the currents? That's a jellyfish for you, one of the oldest animals on our planet. They were here hundreds of millions of years before the dinosaurs, before the first forests grew on land, and even before the air was rich with oxygen. They look fragile, but these creatures are perfectly adapted predators that have survived every single mass extinction, every climate change, and every one of nature's evolutionary experiments. People often think of them as fish or some kind of weird ocean flower, but jellyfish are true animals. They belong to the same group as corals and sea anemones. For centuries, we weren't even sure what they were. A plant? A strange transitional life form? Today, we know for sure. They are animals, and they've been at the top of their own food chain for an incredibly long time. They have no backbone, no brain, and no muscles in the way we understand them. Yet they are masterful hunters. They actively seek food, react to their surroundings, and use powerful venom to attack or defend themselves. Their body is like a bell or a parasol, a soft see-through dome that pulses rhythmically, pushing them through the water. It's like a living hydraulic engine, using simple cell contractions to create incredibly energy-efficient movement. Underneath that bell is a mouth, which also doubles as the exit for waste. Yes, you heard that right. It's a one-way in, one-way out system. It might sound strange to us, but for a jellyfish, it's a simple, effective design that speaks to its ancient origins. Hanging from the bell are the tentacles, sometimes short and delicate, other times stretching for dozens of feet. These tentacles are armed with special stinging cells. Inside each one is a microscopic, venomous dart that fires the instant something touches it. Thanks to these, a jellyfish can paralyze a fish several times its size, and some species can even be a serious threat to humans. What's truly amazing is the sheer variety. There aren't just a few dozen types. There are thousands of different jellyfish species. They range from tiny ones you can barely see to the giant lion jelly with a bell several meters wide. They come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, living everywhere from the deep, dark ocean to the sunny surface, from warm tropical seas to the icy waters of the Arctic. But they all share one thing. They are one of the most extraordinary, minimalist, and effective biological designs nature has ever created. Jellyfish are living proof that an organism can be completely unlike anything we are familiar with and still outlast species that seem far more advanced. A jellyfish's body might look like a floating blob of jelly, but that's an illusion. This soft structure has been perfected by evolution to thrive in the water. Over 95% of it is water. The rest is just a thin layer of cells and a bit of structural protein that helps it keep its shape in the salty ocean. With just one pulse of its bell, it pushes itself forward. It's not about brute force. It's a rhythmic elegance, as if the entire creature is breathing movement. Unlike most animals, a jellyfish doesn't have a central nervous system. Instead of a brain, it has a nerve net spread throughout its body, like a biological internet. Nerve impulses travel in all directions with no central command center. It's fascinating because, despite having no brain, a jellyfish can analyze its environment, react to threats, avoid obstacles, and hunt. It performs behaviors that seem impossible without intelligence, all thanks to simple, brilliantly efficient biological mechanisms. It works. A jellyfish can change direction, speed up, slow down, and navigate ocean currents. It reacts to light, touch, and temperature changes. It pulses faster when it's hunting and slower when it's just drifting. No complex decisions needed, its body just knows what to do. Transparency is one of the most perfect forms of camouflage ever invented. Most jellyfish blend into the water so well they're nearly impossible to spot. Not just for us, but for their predators and prey too. Light passes right through their bodies, bending and shimmering, making them look like just another ripple in the water. And their movement, that hypnotic, calm pulsing like a dance in slow motion? It's powered by a simple mechanism. A layer of cells contracts, pushing water out from under the bell. Then it relaxes and water flows back in. A jellyfish doesn't really swim. It breathes movement. These rhythmic contractions make it look like the ocean is meditating through a living being. An organism that doesn't need to struggle, but simply exists in perfect harmony with the water. Watching one through an aquarium glass, the motion seems peaceful, almost magical. For the jellyfish, it's just another day, a biological rhythm so perfect that evolution hasn't needed to change it, in hundreds of millions of years. A jellyfish hunts in a way that is silent, invisible, and absolutely deadly. Its most dangerous weapons are its stinging tentacles. These long, thin strands hang beneath the bell, sometimes barely visible, sometimes stretching for many feet. On each tentacle are thousands of microscopic capsules called nematocysts, or stinging cells. When they touch prey, each capsule fires a tiny harpoon-like dart that injects venom. It happens in an instant, faster than the blink of an eye. The firing of that harpoon is one of the fastest biological actions in the entire living world. It's quicker than a muscle contraction, quicker than a nerve reaction. It's as if nature hit a miniature pneumatic gun in every single cell. The venom can disable plankton, paralyze a fish, and in some species, seriously harm a human. This venom is the jellyfish's ultimate weapon, and how it works is one of biology's most incredible inventions. Each stinging cell holds a coiled, spring-loaded needle, ready to fire in a fraction of a millisecond. When something brushes against a tentacle, the mechanism triggers instantly, no thinking required. It's pure physics and chemistry. The venom itself is a cocktail of toxins that can attack nerves, muscles, or the circulatory system. For small fish and plankton, it's usually an immediate end. What's even crazier is that the stinging cells are so sensitive they fire from simple contact, so a jellyfish doesn't even know it has caught something. Its body just acts like a living hunting net. Those tentacles form a floating trap. As a jellyfish drifts, its tentacles stretch out like invisible nets through the water. In an ocean teeming with tiny organisms, these nets are an incredibly effective filter. Anything that touches a tentacle has little chance of escape. Jellyfish don't need to swim fast to hunt. They just let the ocean currents carry them right to where the food is. Here's something unsettling. Jellyfish tentacles can keep stinging even after the jellyfish is dead. Detached tentacles, a jellyfish washed up on the beach, even small broken pieces floating in the water can still release their venom. That's because the capsules fire mechanically, without any input from a brain or nervous system. A simple touch is all it takes. This is why swimming near jellyfish can be dangerous, even when they look lifeless. Out of thousands of jellyfish species, only a few are truly dangerous to humans. But the ones that are, like the infamous box jellyfish in Australian waters, are terrifying. Its venom is strong enough to stop a human heart in minutes. Others can cause severe burns, skin damage, or long-lasting pain. But here's the paradox of nature. Despite their danger, jellyfish venom is now a focus of scientific research. Scientists are studying these toxins for potential medical uses in treating pain and neurological disorders. What kills might also one day heal. A jellyfish doesn't need claws or fangs. Its weapon is microscopic biological technology, refined over hundreds of millions of years, silent, swift, and more efficient than many of the ocean's top super predators. Their diet depends on the species, but most often it includes plankton, tiny crustaceans, fish larvae, sometimes even other jellyfish. They are passive predators floating traps that kill by touch, but they're also a crucial food source. Sea turtles, some fish, and even birds rely on them. The massive leatherback sea turtle, for instance, eats huge quantities of jellyfish every single day. It's a strange paradox. An animal with no brain is both a hunter and the hunted, woven into the very fabric of ocean life. It doesn't need speed or strategy. Its entire body is a weapon, a silent, gelatinous hunter that evolution perfected. But the most mind-bending part of the jellyfish story is its life cycle. That drifting bell shape we all recognize? That's just the final chapter. It all begins when a microscopic larva sinks to the seafloor, attaches to a rock, and transforms into something that looks more like an underwater flower than an animal. This is the polyp stage. And here, something incredible happens. The polyp can reproduce asexually, creating an entire colony of identical clones. It's like one tiny being building a city of itself, quietly waiting. When the time is right, these polyps start a biological assembly line. They begin to slice off small segments of themselves, and each tiny fragment floats away as a young jellyfish. Hundreds of them are released into the ocean at once, like balloons let go into the sky. They grow, pulse, and hunt, entering the most familiar stage of their lives. In this phase, they reproduce sexually. Males and females release cells into the water. A new larva is born, and the cycle begins again. But what if the cycle could go backward? For some jellyfish, it can. If conditions get tough, not enough food, or the jellyfish gets injured, it can revert from its adult form back to the polyp stage. It's like rewinding a tape. a biological trick to escape aging and death. No mammal, no fish, no vertebrate can do this. Some jellyfish species even function as a single superorganism. Imagine a colony where different individuals have different jobs. Some hunt, some reproduce, some defend. It's an underwater society born not from choice, but from millions of years of evolution. The jellyfish life story isn't a straight line. It's a loop, always returning to the beginning. This might be why they've survived every major extinction event our planet has ever seen. While there are thousands of jellyfish species, a few have become legends. If real-life science fiction exists, it's hidden in the world of jellyfish. Take the sea wasp from Australian waters. Its venom is so potent it can stop a human heart in minutes. Its tentacles are long, nearly invisible, and can wrap around a victim faster than the eye can see. Biologists compare its sting to touching a live high-voltage wire. It's one of the most dangerous animals on Earth, yet it looks as fragile as a transparent petal. Then there's the Portuguese man-of-war, which isn't technically a single jellyfish. It's a siphonophore, a colony of specialized organisms working together. That beautiful blue-purple balloon you see floating on the surface is just a gas-filled bladder that acts like a sail. Below the water, its long tentacles deliver an intensely painful sting. It's a tiny, wine-powered sailboat of death. But the true superstar is Tortopsis dohrnii, the immortal jellyfish. This tiny creature has an ability that has captivated scientists. It can reverse its life cycle. When it's injured, old, or stressed, it can transform from a mature adult back into a juvenile polyp, effectively starting its life over. It literally resets its biological clock. It's no wonder this jellyfish has inspired groundbreaking research into aging and regeneration. Jellyfish also come in shocking sizes. The Arctic lion's main jellyfish can have tentacles longer than a blue whale and a bell that span several meters across. In the dark, cold northern seas, these giants drift like living, pulsing umbrellas from another world. On the other end of the scale are microscopic jellyfish, just a few millimeters long. They're nearly invisible, but they are just as much a predator as their colossal relatives. When we look at all these species, the deadly, the giant, the immortal, we're not just seeing biological diversity. We're seeing a story the ocean has been writing for over 500 million years. Each jellyfish is a different lesson in survival, a different recipe from nature on how to exist in a constantly changing world. They aren't just beautiful ghosts in the water. They are fundamental players in the ocean's ecosystem. If they were to disappear, the ripple effects would change our seas in ways we can't even begin to predict. Have you ever looked at a jellyfish and just seen a beautiful, dangerous blob? Well, there's so much more to them than meets the eye. These seemingly simple creatures are actually vital guardians of our oceans. They munch on enormous amounts of tiny plankton, preventing it from growing out of control. Without jellyfish, our oceans could become murky, overloaded with organic matter, and the delicate balance of photosynthesis would be thrown off. They're both predator and prey. For many fish, sea turtles, and even some marine mammals, jellyfish are a crucial food source. In fact, loggerhead and leatherback turtles have practically become jellyfish hunting specialists. This shows that jellyfish aren't just a threat. They're the foundation of life for many other species. What's truly incredible is their ability to colonize the oceans. They don't need a hard surface to settle on. They don't build structures. They just appear almost anywhere, from warm tropical lagoons to the freezing waters of the Arctic. All they need is a current, the right temperature, and a moment of stability to start reproducing at an explosive rate. In some places, they form massive jellyfish blooms, enormous swarms of millions of individuals, looking like a living cloud beneath the waves. This brings up a big question. Could jellyfish take over the oceans? Scientists are warning that in our current era of climate change, overfishing, and pollution, jellyfish are thriving. They're incredibly resilient, reproduce quickly, and many species don't mind low-quality water. In many regions, jellyfish populations aren't just growing, they're starting to dominate. Wherever humans have disrupted the natural balance, jellyfish move in to fill the empty ecological niche. Imagine an ocean where schools of fish are replaced by drifting clouds of jelly. This isn't science fiction anymore. In some places, it's already happening. If we don't restore the balance, this delicate, seemingly harmless creature might just become one of the ruling forces of the future ocean. Not because they want to, but because we've created a world where they are the best survivors. Our relationship with jellyfish is a mix of fascination, fear, and practical use. On one hand, they can be dangerous. The most direct contact we have is through stings. In tropical waters like those around Australia and the Philippines, the danger is very real. A single touch from a sea wasp or a Portuguese man-of-war can cause intense pain, and in the worst cases, it can be fatal. Local communities there have learned to recognize dangerous species and react quickly to a sting, knowledge that saves lives. But this threat is no longer just a tropical problem. As our seas warm, jellyfish are appearing in places they've never been before, like the Mediterranean and the Baltic. Blooms can shut down beaches, disrupt fisheries, and paralyze tourism. Even a mild jellyfish sting can cause a severe allergic reaction. We are learning to coexist with these gelatinous neighbors, treating them with both respect and caution. Surprisingly, jellyfish also have a place on our dinner plates. In Asia, especially in China, Korea, and Japan, they've been a delicacy for centuries. Dried, pickled, or salted, they're prized for their crisp, elastic texture and health benefits, like supporting circulation. It's more than just an exotic ingredient. It's a tradition that connects culinary art with a respect for the cycles of marine life. But perhaps the most fascinating part is their role in science. Jellyfish tissue is naturally resistant to infection. It's elastic, durable, and transparent. Scientists are trying to harness these qualities to create new biomaterials, like hydrogels for artificial tissues. Their unique proteins are inspiring research into cell regeneration and wound healing. And then there's the almost immortal jellyfish, Torritopsis dohrnii. This tiny creature can reverse its life cycle, which has biologists and gerontologists buzzing with excitement. It offers hope for understanding aging and maybe even slowing it down in humans. Even their venom, as dangerous as it is being studied for new painkillers and advanced neurological research tools. Jellyfish are living fossils, witnesses to the history of life on Earth. They appeared hundreds of millions of years before the dinosaurs, when there were no trees on land and the atmosphere was still being formed. They might have been among the very first predators, simple yet effective hunters. Their evolution took a different path. Instead of a brain, they developed a nerve net spread throughout their body. This minimalist system lets them react, hunt, and move with a grace that we find hypnotic. No brain, yet perfect efficiency. This simple design has proven ideal for a world that changes rapidly. Their resilience is legendary. They've survived every mass extinction event in Earth's history, from ancient collapses to the cataclysms that wiped out most ocean life. Their bodies, over 95% water, allow them to adapt to conditions that would be lethal for almost anything else. For science, jellyfish are more than just biological curiosities. By studying their survival strategies and life cycles, researchers learn how life can function in the most extreme environments. They show us that evolution doesn't always lead to more complexity. Sometimes, simplicity, decentralization, and regeneration are the keys to long-term survival. So, when you see a jellyfish drifting in the ocean, you're not just looking at a blob of jelly. You're looking at a threat, a delicacy, a biological laboratory, and an inspiration for the medicine of tomorrow. You're looking at a living fossil that remembers a world before us. Every pulse of its bell is a fragment of a story that began hundreds of millions of years ago and continues today, teaching us profound lessons about life, survival, and the delicate balance of our planet. That paradox, beauty, danger, and scientific potential all wrapped in one transparent package is why they will always fascinate us. Thanks for watching.